Hello, world. Welcome to episode 11 of the 3FL podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Friend, and today we have a special guest named Bo Peralta.
Yes. Hi. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So the podcast is centered around faith, family, fitness, love, loyalty, and leadership. I heard Bo's story, a lot of great things about just where she's come from and then where she's going in life, and just the trials and tribulations that have continued to help her be a stronger person and have help her become who she is, who she's become today.
Yeah.
So, Bo, if you don't mind, go ahead and tell us who you are, where you're from, what you're passionate about.
Okay. So my name's Bo, of course, and I was born and raised in England, and I moved to America in 2019 because I was in a long distance relationship and we just did not want to do the distance thing anymore. So I moved to America, to Dallas, Texas in 2019, and shortly after I got pregnant with my first baby, River. And we lived in Texas for 5 years and then moved to Florida just last year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit of the things that you do on a regular basis, but also some things that you're passionate about.
Some things that I do on a regular basis is I'm a mom full-time, single mom full-time. I come to the gym almost every day, which is how we met. And we go to church. We're very passionate about our faith and being close to God and our relationship with God. We go to Bible study. We have an amazing group of friends from our church that we spend time with. And I'm really passionate about advocating for victims of domestic violence and doing what I can for the community over there. Yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And, just as far as domestic violence and things like that, is there something specific that you're super passionate about on why you chose that?
Why did I choose domestic violence?
To be a help, because obviously everybody wants to help in a specific way in the world.
Yeah. So my story with moving to America is that the relationship didn't work out, and my ex-husband fell into addiction, which from addiction became violent, and I didn't understand addiction. I'd never been around anything like that. So I did everything that I could to stick around and help, which didn't work out. So I ended up leaving with our daughter. And from that is how I became a survivor of domestic violence. I experienced a lot of anger because I stood in the way of his addiction. Mm-hmm. And I was very lucky to escape alive pretty much. So I spent the last 3 or 4 years just healing and learning, I guess, becoming the person that I am today, because of course, I'm no longer the woman that I was before all of this happened. And that's what led us to Florida as well, because I just needed a fresh start. I needed to be away from everyone that was part of that era of my life. And I remember telling one of my victim advocates when all of this first happened that I really wanted to be her because she helped me so much and she made me feel so good and safe and loved. And I was like, Hattie, how do I do what you're doing? And she was like, whoa, you need to slow down. This just happened. You need to heal. You need to just kind of recover. And, you're never going to be the same again. And I didn't really understand it at the time. And I wanted to go to school and do all these things to become a victim's advocate as well. And I finally listened to her and I slowed down, and over time it led me to advocating on TikTok and social media, and then slowly getting involved in the community. In my church, I'm working on a domestic violence group with my pastor right now. And yeah, that's why I'm passionate about advocating for victims of domestic violence, because of where I came from. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when you say that it's helped you become the person that you are now, who is that person? Do you feel what I mean by that is a person that walks with strengths?
Of course, yes, absolutely. And something that I actually experienced, so the day that my ex-husband got arrested, the police officer that I essentially saved my life, I did not know God at the time. I mean, I knew of him, I didn't have a relationship with him. And this police officer pulled me out into the hallway and he told me, God is not done with you yet. This is just the beginning. Your story's not over. And I was lucky to be alive. So that's why he was saying that to me. But at the time, I didn't really understand, how big that was. Mm. And over time, I did like start getting to know God. I had a roommate that was Christian and grew up in a very, very spiritual household, and she would slowly like nudge me, like give me books and like talk to me about God. And I wasn't really receptive to it at the time. But it probably took like a good 3 years. And eventually I was led to Christ, and I gave my life to him, and he is my strength. Like that is the only reason why I survived all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because you like, and this, I guess what makes sense for me is like, we don't ever understand in the moment what's going on, you know? But I think as time goes by in the not understanding state, like, you know, that's whenever we're able to have more faith. Because,
oh my goodness.
Because it's more of an evidence from not understanding then and then it making sense now. So it just kind of gives you that evidence of like, you know, I know it doesn't make sense. I got through it. It put me to the other side of it. But now that I walk with more and more faith, right? Can you give me some more examples of like something that, and this is just could be breakthrough. It doesn't always have to be dark times. It could also be times of like, you know, greatness whenever you're in that you walk with God, that you're able to see, you know, something different now than what you see.
I don't know.
So, and I guess what it could be is like, you know, for a long time, I know you have River, you know, and it could just be the simple things of like how well you are doing as you continue to raise her by yourself.
I mean, I feel like before, you know, I had my relationship with God, I really struggled with like anger and resentment. And that is something that has like been like a huge change in my life. Like I don't like sit in that like pain and that anger anymore. And I feel like that's how he helps me every day now, is that like I could be having a bad day and I don't automatically like find an outlet to like put my anger in and be like, this is like, it's not because, wait, how do I like word this? I could never accept like my own issues as being the issue, like it being my fault. Does that make sense? Before I had to put the blame on everything and everybody else. And finding God has definitely helped me like just accept things for what they are. And like, I don't really know like how to explain it more.
And as you accept it, you're more prone to just being able to let it go.
Yeah.
And then now you don't harbor anger or resentment.
I don't. I give it all to God. I pray every day.
And
like,
I think, and I'm sorry, but I think in taking ownership a little bit of the process or the situations and saying, what could I have done better? What can I do?
Yeah.
How could I have done better in this situation? And not putting it on anybody else.
Oh, for sure.
It just gives you the opportunity to just process it, know you had a part into it, and then move on and get through.
And it's all about perspective, right? Because before I could have like, let's say a bad day with my daughter being sick. And instead of like just accepting that she's sick and this is what happens, like kids get sick. And then sometimes we get sick too because we caught it from them. I would then project all my anger on, you know, my ex, because he wasn't here to help me raise her and I was in the position that I was now in. And now I have those days and I'm like, what is this teaching me? Like what a blessing it is to be able to take care of this sick child by myself and nurture her and love her and like get over this sickness together and like just spend this time together while, you know, we're forced to be home. So like that's like the perspective of that. And just
in that, what that ultimately boils down to, what I feel like is God helped you renew your mind into being able to be a stronger, more useful individual, not just for your daughter, but for the world.
Absolutely.
You know? Because as you have another perspective, there's people that go through the same thing as you, and then they have that same mentality where they're like, and here's the thing: when something happens to somebody, no matter what, I truly believe this. When something happens to somebody, first initial reaction is victim. It's
Absolutely.
To everybody, victim. Why me? But then it takes a little bit of thinking through that, and what you've been able to do is to be able to see that, like, you know, as I was able to understand and process it a little bit better, I could see that I actually played a part in it as well. And it's being able to get other people to see the same thing.
Of course. And the victim mentality, I actually was just listening to a podcast that was talking about this morning, and I read a book maybe like 5 years ago. It's called How to Do the Work. I forget who it's by. It's by a therapist. And she was talking about how when somebody gets a diagnosis, they become that diagnosis, whether it's, you know, depression or like cancer or addiction, it becomes like their personality, and they thrive off of like the attention that comes with it. And I'm a victim of that too. I was a survivor of domestic violence, and I got so much attention. Like, how can I help you? What can we do? Like, are you okay? What happened? And I was sharing my story to all of these people. They just wanted the gossip. They just wanted to know like the tea.
Yeah.
But the tea was my testimony. Like, I didn't realize at the time like just how like drastic it was that I was like sharing like my business with all these people. And when I let go of that, like that victim mentality, it's not that like I sat and like preached that I was a victim every day, but it definitely like was a major thing like in my everyday life. And now I can walk around and be like, hey, how's it going? I'm not like,
it's not the first thing you talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So you definitely have grown through that.
I mean, it shaped me into the woman that I am today, 100%. But now I don't dwell on it. I'm using that experience for the good. Like, that's how God is using me right now.
You just took whatever you needed to take out of it to propel you forward and not hold you back.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then, what are some things that, like, if you were to be able to tell the world, from a fresh perspective of Bo Peralta, what would you say? Just a fresh perspective of like what life's about to you.
What life is about, it's all about God.
Yeah.
It's all about trusting Him, and being in the waiting season and like learning how to be patient is like really difficult, and it's very uncomfortable. But I think that life is all about trusting God, that His timing is always right. And just like surrounding yourself in the people that will love on you and are examples of God as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So making sure you find the right support system.
Absolutely.
And then you find the right, guidance, knowledge. Mm-hmm. Seek the book.
Yeah.
For the most part. And those are all awesome things.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you have specifically for me that you want to talk about or that you would want to ask?
You. Okay, I am curious though. I'm curious about how you stay so positive every day. Like what is it that you do? Because the first day that I met you, you were so like bubbly and outgoing, and you're such an approachable person. I see you when I'm working out, like talking to people, and just like you're very outgoing. So how do you do that?
Well, there's a lot. It's not necessarily what I do as much as it is what I don't do. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing, it happens to everybody, right? Like you're gonna have bad days, you're gonna have good days, but no matter what, like how do you get a perspective every day that's gonna make you happy no matter what? And it's all about understanding that life is short. The interactions that you have with people, there's a ripple effect to them. So if you treat somebody bad, the next person and their next person that they're going to treat is probably going to be the same thing. But if you can do it in a positive way, and knowing that you could be the difference in the impact that changes the person's day or helps them get through a dark time, and I think that I have a lot of energy. I don't know where it comes from. I'm great. I'm just super grateful for it. But in the times, even when I am like upset or whatever the case may be, I'm happy. It's not that I'm not happy. It's just that I probably have a lot going on and I might have a little bit of stress. Yeah. But getting in the cold plunge helps me out a lot. Yeah. Exercising every day is super important. Keeping a good diet, keeping a good gut health is very important. So I take a lot of like wellness shots and things like that. Yeah. But for the most part, in my mind, I just think that like I got a second chance at life and I'm just super grateful for it. And there's nothing that's going to take me out of that state. Yeah. And I'm just happy to be able to wake up every day and have, what I have. That's how I feel too. And just be who I am. Because now that I would say that the level I have right now is like a level of freedom. Freedom from, not from, I still got to show up and go to work every day. I still have to live like a regular person, but I'm free from the thoughts that trap my mind every day because there's things that'll try to hold you hostage. But it's so cool because as I walk through every day, there's no longer things that hold me hostage. It's like I'm always just free and I'm able to move. I'm able to serve people. I'm able to help people. And I think that who would want to do anything more? I agree. Yeah. So if you got a perspective like that of just like how can I help and how can I serve, and not making it so selfish, greedy about me all the time, because I used to be like that.
Yeah.
I think that if you look at it life like that, it just makes things a little bit easier because you don't have so much expectations on what you need people to do for you as much as you can do for others. And as you don't have control of what people can do for you, but you do have control of what you can do for other people.
Of course.
And I think if you just invert that and take care of people, I mean, you have your quality of life stays up. It's just, that's the best answer I can give you.
No, I completely agree. I feel like this past 6 months, I have really changed my perspective on people and how I react to people. I could walk past somebody and they give me a little bit of a stern look, and maybe 6 months ago or a year ago would be super offended. And now I'm you know what? I'm going to pray for that person. They're obviously going through something that they feel that way. And just having that perspective now and being really open to the fact that everyone else is going through something that we don't know about too. It's just changed my life. I feel like I'm a nicer person. I feel so much more free, like you said. I'm not held hostage with all these thoughts of oh, that person doesn't like me, or that person just looked at me this way because maybe I look you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Super judgmental.
Yes.
Yeah, just very critical.
Yes. Yeah. And the judgmental thing has helped as well since I really cut down my circle. Before, I was around a lot of people that were very judgmental, and I really valued their opinion and their validation on everything. And since I let go of that and learned how to be uncomfortable by myself, it probably took a year of having no close friends, no validation from all the people around me, just learning how to trust my decision and what I think is best, instead of asking you what you think is best for me, because sometimes that's okay, but not every day.
And I think the best thing that, and I totally understand what you're saying, because I only take advice from people that are because it's just I don't know if it's because I have trust issues or because I just seek counsel from certain people because I think they have good advice.
Of course.
And I think that it just has everything to do with trusting people anyway. But I don't think it's important I don't think it's a good idea to take advice from everybody.
Yeah.
Because not everybody has good advice.
I think lost people do seek validation and advice from everybody though. Yeah. So just learning to let go of that it makes a huge difference in your life.
Yeah. And once you start creating solutions for yourself anyway, there's nobody to blame. So it's kind of cool anyway.
Of course.
To be able to give yourself the power to be better, to get to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that I probably need to do more is allow people to help me. Would be something that would be good for me.
Yeah. Well, we're not meant to carry our burdens alone, so you definitely should allow people to help you.
Yeah, and I think I do. I think it's just in the moment when I'm just so locked in.
Yes.
It's I'm ready to just I just lose all train of thought. But what the task at hand is.
I understand, because I'll look back on a situation, I'm wow, I could have asked Tyler to help me because he would have been the perfect fit to help me in that scenario. But it's too late by the time I think that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just learn. Yeah. And then you get the thought in your mind, and then you either hold on to it, and you listen to it, or you just let it go.
Yeah.
So, but I think we are going to wrap it up.
Okay.
Anybody on the screen, thanks for watching. Listen, I hope there's somebody out there that, if they can relate to this specifically, or that somebody that can relate to it, give me a like, give me a comment, give me a share, show me some love in any way, shape, or form. I appreciate everybody who watches and everything that you guys do on the opposite side of that screen. I hope you have a great rest of your night or your rest of your day, whatever time you're watching it. Peace.